Your 7-minute pitch begins right now.
Hello, everyone. I'm Malcolm Schreiber, the CEO and founder of Egregium. We offer online automated investment management and investment advisory services, which is commonly called a robo-advisor. But we've re-imaged what a robo-advisor should be and have a new concept for what the product should be. First, a little bit about myself. I have the longest experience of anyone in Japan in this industry. I was the original CIO and CTO, that is Chief Investment Officer, of Money Design, the first robo-advisory company in Japan. While I was there, I created 3 products, robo-advisors. The second one, THEO, is the second most successful in Japan. I also went to Malaysia and created a robo-advisor. I was the first one in the industry globally to use machine learning in 2018. And I also hold patents on tax optimization and hedging algorithms as well. But I became dissatisfied with not only our own product, but all robo-advisors. I think these companies are on the wrong path and don't really understand what the product should be. See, a robo-advisor should be about advice. It's in the name. And Japanese people really need investment advice. More than half of all assets, as is well known in Japan, are sitting in banks, rotting away, earning no interest. And Japanese people live a long time, so they really need to invest their money wisely. This puts a strain on their own budgets and that of the government as well. But people are afraid. They don't know. They lack experience. They have bad experience in the past with investing. They don't know how to get started. So this is what is available, the landscape of investment advice. You have wealth management. For people with a lot of money, if you have more than $1 million, you can get personalized advice. But most people don't. On the other end of the spectrum, you have the Japanese robo-advisors. They're convenient, they're fairly cheap, but they give only generic, low-quality advice. But with modern technology and new algorithms, we should be able to replicate that capability of a human, but on the same platform and cost and convenience of an existing robo-advisor. So when I say that they're generic, they lack customization, this is what I mean. Robo-advisors are trying to determine how much risk you should take in your portfolio. Fundamentally, that is what their purpose of profiling is. And they ask you some questions, and then based on that, they recommend something. But they typically only ask a few questions, mainly your age. That's the most important thing. And there's no consideration of your actual needs, your actual financial, how much money you're actually spending and earning. They have vague questions to try to assess your personality, like, what would you do if the market fell 10% in a month? These are novice investors. They have no idea. There's a limited number of choices because there's no quantitative model. They can't say you're 9% risk and you should be at 12. They have no way of actually calculating. And it's just a one-time thing. It never updates. So our new product, ProPort, we have you basing it on goals. You assess what your future goals are, and then we calculate how much money you need to invest to get to those goals. We take into consideration your household structure, your income and assets. We complement your existing assets, and we build your portfolio around that. And we simulate billions of paths of future potential investments to figure out what your current portfolio will be, but also what your portfolio will be every year in the future. That's how we optimize. And then we are constantly reassessing. Last year was a bad year. This year, you might have to take more risk. On the portfolio management side, we divide the assets into high and low risk portfolios, manage each one as a professional portfolio, trying to maximize the return on that, unlike our competitors who are mainly just index followers. This is what I mean about goal-based. Let's say you want to buy a house or you're saving for your child's education. First, we help you to figure out how much you need, when you will need the money. We look at your finances to figure out how much you can invest, and we calculate what risk levels you need to get there. starting from higher risk when you first start investing and tapering down as you get closer to your goal, and then reassessing over time. If you reach your goal early, it rolls over to another goal. If you had, like I said, if performance was disappointing one year, maybe more risk the next, or maybe we recalculate what your new goal should be. This is the kind of information we use. We ask lots of questions about your family structure, about your income, your assets, everything that allows us to predict what your future your income will be. But this is optional. We don't force people to answer it. You start with what you want to tell us. We use financial data from statistics to figure out what your average values will be. So this is a totally new concept compared to existing robo-advisors. We ask a lot more information, potentially. We calculate exactly your future assets and income. We use government statistical data to fill in the gaps. We do AI, machine learning, to simulate over billions of paths and calculate what your ideal future portfolio should be. No one has ever done this before. And for the portfolio management side, we have a high-risk risk portfolio, a low-risk portfolio. We take any combination in between to give us a lot of different choices, all of them with good returns. The blue lines on there are my previous experience. The other ones are competitors. We've been running this a couple of years. We should outperform all of them. The industry itself is growing rapidly, but it's kind of plateauing because the existing robo-advisors ignore clients' actual real situation. And by expanding the capabilities to true investment advice, we should be able to broaden our market much more broadly. We're launching in a couple of months. We're doing the final preparations now.
Thank you very much. That was Mr. G. Malcolm Schreiber, CEO founder of Egregium Incorporated, with a reimagined robo-advisor.